So hey everybody, Nick Kleban from XACT Nutrition here, and I'm gonna walk you through the Badlands Gran Fondo and how to fuel and use the aid stations appropriately to help you get through whatever chosen dinosaur distance you're doing. So whether that's the Brontosaurus, whether it's the T-Rex, whether it's the Triceratops or the Velociraptor, 4 great dinosaurs by the way. As an overview, the Badlands Gran Fondo, it's on July 5th this year. It's in the Drumheller Valley, which is really a unique place in the world. It's the dinosaur capital of the world. I'm a guy who loves dinosaurs, so this race just has me absolutely fired up. You have 4 different race choices to choose from, ranging from 50 kilometers to 163K, and it's awesome because they're named after different dinosaurs. So we're gonna start with the longest distance, which is fittingly named after one of the largest dinosaurs, the Brontosaurus. Great naming there from the Trans-Rockies team. So we're looking at 163 kilometers, 874 meters of elevation gain, rolling terrain throughout the day, couple of major climbs to tackle early on, and one major one later on in the race in the final third of the race. On the course, you're gonna have 4 different aid stations, and it's stocked with great snacks, okay? We're talking XACT fruit bars, PB&J sandwiches, cookies, bananas, watermelons, Dinosaurs. Those are great gummy treats if you don't know. So because these are really well stocked, your fueling strategy can depend on what you want to get out of this race. Are you someone who wants to go for a course PB? Are you trying to stick with the lead group? Or are you trying to maybe enjoy your day a little bit more, really stop at the aid stations, have a laugh with your friends, take on some different types of food? It's really depending on what you want to get out of today. If you're that person who is racing super fast and trying to go for time, we're trying to avoid the aid stations. We're gonna pack as much food as we need in our pocket so you can just keep moving forward. If you're that other person who's here to just get the distance done, have a great time, you can stop at these aid stations. But whether you're stopping at aid stations or you're powering on through, it's still very important to be eating enough food. And how much you eat is going to depend on 2 things: how long your race will take you and how hard you're gonna go in that race. So between those 2 factors, that's really gonna scale how much food I would recommend to bring in your pockets. So again, this isn't a video to tell you how much to eat. We have a great carbohydrate calculator for that. So I would go over to that part of our website, punch in how long you're gonna race, how hard you anticipate going, and it's gonna give you a recommendation on how much food to put in your pocket. So granted you have that, what I would be recommending to eat that food is trying to space it out evenly throughout this race, okay? So we don't wanna back end load the food. We don't wanna fuel when it's too late. Your body's gonna perform optimally if you're always giving it that carbohydrate right from the start. 160K, depending on how much you're bringing, you can space up your nutrition plan in even sectors. So maybe it's every 30 minutes, maybe it's every 20 minutes, maybe it's 45 and you have a little bit more. You're gonna play with that a little bit. It's a choose your own adventure strategy when it comes to how you're gonna eat. But the main point I wanna bring to you is you're gonna come with a plan. You're gonna come with the appropriate amount of food in your pocket. As long as you finish the race and all that food's gone, you've done a great job. You've done better than most people. If you're someone who likes to stop at the aid stations, nothing wrong with that. I love a great aid station too. But again, you wanna still target how much to eat based off of what you planned with the calculator before. Let's give an example. Let's say your calculator said, eat 60 grams of carbohydrates per hour. Okay, well, let's look at aid station 1. What would I need to eat to get 60 grams of carbs? You have fruit bars, you got PB&J sandwiches, you got bananas, Dinosaurs, watermelon. So let's say you want a banana. A banana is about 25 grams of carbs. You say you want a fruit bar. Fruit bar is about 25 grams of carbs as well, so you're at 50 grams of carbs. You want to get to that 60 gram level. You'd probably be taking on a couple Dinosaurs, maybe a couple cookies if they're small, a bite of a PB&J. So that's kind of what we're looking at here, okay? So 60 grams is a fruit bar, a banana, a couple gummies, a couple cookies, something like that. Or you could go the cookie route. You could just go Cookie Monster and just have a bunch of cookies too. Could also work. Say you're doing the aid station strategy, a good fun way to keep it motivating is maybe you went with cookies at one station, go the Dinosaurs at another, mix it up, try to taste everything that they have to offer, get a full flight going on with the nutrition. What better dinosaur to name the 100K? 100K is kind of like the distance in cycling, and the dinosaur is the T-Rex. So this is why the 100K. To me, it's logical, it's the T-Rex. 641 meters, 100K. So look, we're looking at similar challenge to tackle as the Brontosaurus. I'm gonna recommend the same things. Know how much you need to eat, depending on your finish time, depending on how hard you're going. Pack that food, or get a sense of how much carbohydrates are in the foods of the aid station. So that's a quick Google search away. How many carbs are in a banana? How many carbs are in 10 dinosaurs? So you have an idea when you get to that aid station approximately how much you gotta eat. And because it's 100K, it's gonna take you a while. So again, those aid stations are more and more of a crutch. You need those if you're gonna not pack food in your pocket. We love Triceratops, great dinosaur as well. 400 meters of climbing, you got a couple hills at the beginning of the race, so you have these climbs early on. It's probably okay to eat during them. It seems that the gradient's gentle enough, but say you get there and you're really working hard, you're breathing deep, it's hard to eat during those climbs, that's okay. You don't need to try to shove food down your mouth while you're breathing that hard. You're gonna wait for a moment in the race that's a little bit easier and you can take on that food. Aid stations are the same, but because we're getting towards a shorter distance, hence how long it's gonna take you. So if again, we're thinking about the intensity and duration curve, because your race is taking you less, you have a less reliance on eating as much food, which is good, more time focused on riding. So probably the amount of food you're packing in your pockets is just a little bit less, and how much you're eating per hour, probably a little bit less than the Brontosauruses of the world. We are looking for the same things at the aid stations. We're looking for high carbohydrates, readily available energy. The Velociraptor, 50 kilometers, short but fierce, kind of like a Velociraptor. You have one water station, one aid station. Depending on your level of training too, 50K, it's either, oh, it's a normal training ride, or maybe this is a big challenge for you. You haven't done a lot of 50-kilometer bike rides. And if you haven't done those rides that are, significantly past 1 hour in duration, even if it's a bit shorter, we can't forget fueling is still super important for that. So whether you're doing the aid stations, whether you're doing stuff from home in your pockets, we're gonna use that calculator. We're gonna have a sense of how much we need to eat, pack appropriately before the race, and make sure that those pockets are finished by the end of the race. This could be a hot race. We're not gonna forget hydration in the fueling strategy. So we shine a lot of light on making sure your energy's topped up. But if you get dehydrated, performance goes down a cliff really, really quickly. So we wanna keep that in mind too. If you're out of water, we're probably gonna stop at the aid station. Yes, it sucks to stop, but you're gonna be saving so much more if you stay hydrated versus just letting yourself go dry and your performance slowly dwindling. I really believe you're gonna make up for that if you just stop and get a little bit of water on board. So no matter what course that you're doing here, one thing I would look towards is having more of that slower burning fuel early on in the race and moving towards the quicker burning stuff by the end. So if we're gonna use our aid station as an example, maybe you're starting at the first aid station having cookies and peanut butter and jam, a little more complex carbohydrates with the bread and grains, and then we're moving towards those faster burning carbohydrates by the end. We're talking the dinosaurs, the XACT fruit bars of the world, a banana, things like that. Just as a tip, because you're gonna think about the energy release of all of these foods that you're eating. If you have that peanut butter and jam late in the race, you're probably not extracting much of the energy from the peanut butter in the last 20 kilometers of the race. So let's make our aid station choices reflect when we're gonna get the energy. So slower burning stuff earlier, I would go more of that quicker burning dinosaurs later in the race. Enjoy the scenery, keep your head up, look out for crossing dinosaurs, and have a great time at the Badlands Gran Fondo. Nick Kleban and I approve this message.